In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at an extension which connects UKMail in Magento.
And in order for us to sync UKMail with Magento, we're going to need an extension for Magento. Now, there's a company in Bristol called Mad Capsule, and they've been and created this extension for us and for you. And this tutorial is a little bit special because we're joined by Mark, who's actually going to take us through the setting up of this extension and how to use it as well in this tutorial. So on that note, howdy Mark, and thank you for joining us.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Cool beans. Just a daft one, Mark, for somebody who's never met you before. What do you do, and why did you build this extension?
Well, my name is Mark. I work for Mad Capsule. We build extensions for Magento and some other platforms, just trying to help people take all the laborious tasks out of their day-to-day business. We built UKMail ages ago. I can't remember when. I can't remember why we built it. It would have been at a customer request, or we realised lots of people needed it.
From my point of view, that's a good thing. That means that it was built a long time ago, there's a large number of people using it, and it works. We're going to be looking at UKMail in this tutorial, but you've got extensions for lots of other couriers in Magento as well. Do you want to name a couple of them?
Sure, so we've got, this is a few, DPD, Interlink, Raw Mail.
Parcel Force.
Yeah, Parcel Force, and tons more.
Okay, fair enough. So, Mark, what's needed for us to be able to integrate UKMail with Magento?
You just need a UKMail account, and you'd have to ask your UKMail account people for an icon sign password and username, which are specified in our instructions. And that's it, obviously a Magento store. Okay,
and will this extension work with both Community and the Enterprise Edition?
Yeah.
Cool beans. Okay, and we've got a link there for the extension. If you go to understandtheknee.com/get UKMail, that'll take you across to the Mad Capsule website, and we'll pop that link at the end for you. Now, Mark, these extensions come with a couple of different modes. Can you just explain those for us?
Sure. So obviously, everybody operates slightly differently. The first mode, there's three modes. The first mode is manual. This is the mode where the user or the merchant would go into each shipment and select which shipper method, like which service UKMail will send out the shipment on. So, I don't know, next day or 2-day delivery. So in Magento, they'd log in, they'd find the shipment that they created from an order. On that shipment, they can select all the UKMail shipper methods, so perhaps next day, and then they would hit send to UKMail. So it's fairly manual, so they have to, obviously manually click the button.
Still saves typing it out, though.
Yeah, of course. It obviously avoids them typing it out, logging into another system, and it avoids them making any mistakes. The second method, they're automatic modes. So the first mode is every time a shipment's created, it will be sent to UKMail with default shipping method that you've selected. So it would only be useful to somebody who only uses one UKMail shipping method or shipping service. So if you send all your packages as first class and you never use any other shipping method, it's perfect. So once the shipment gets created, automatically we sent over to UKMail. UKMail will see it as a first class shipment, or whichever you've selected. The third method, a slight extension to that, the automatic mapping. There's an interface in the configuration of our extension in your Magento store that allows you to map Magento shipping methods with UKMail shipping methods. So for instance, if you had an order, if you had a shipping method in Magento called something like Matt's Super Saver Special Delivery, which obviously is not a UKMail shipping service, but you wanted that to pretty much be the cheapest shipping method, which, I don't know, for argument's sake, we'll say is a 2-day service. In our configuration, you can map any order that has Matt's Super Saver Delivery to the 2-day service in UKMail. So once a shipment's created, it will automatically send over to UKMail that consignment with the right service, 2-day or whichever.
Right, okay, that's pretty cool. Now, just like the installation of any extension with Magento, what we're going to be doing is, number one, and again, this is the path which you would do following to install this extension on your Magento website, is number one, it's a big one, make a backup of your Magento system. And at the bottom of this page, we have included a link to one of the tutorials which will show you how to back up Magento in like 3.5 clicks. It only takes a couple of minutes and it will save you hours of frustration. So do take it from us. do take the time to do a backup before installing any extension with Magento. And then we're going to go off and we're going to make sure that the compiler is disabled in Magento. We're then going to upload the files, and that's the extension files, to our Magento site. Next, you'll want to clear out the caches in Magento, and a key step is that you must remember to log out and log back in again, because if you don't do that, you're going to end up with a 404 page in the admin section, and it's really straightforward to do. And then finally, we're going to show you how to configure the extension as well. And again, we've noted here that it's underneath System, Configuration, Sales, and UKMail, and we'll show you how to do that in a few moments' time. Now, Mark, before we continue, I've got 3 questions for you, if I may. The first one is that can we have more than one of these courier extensions working together on our Magento website, so we can have DPD and UKMail?
Sure, yeah, you can use our extensions with each other. You can run multiple ones.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what about the rules as well? Are they shared between the extensions or are they separated?
No, they're specific to the extension. So we'll probably see in a second when we look at the configuration, but they're specific. So you're mapping UKMail shipping methods to Magento shipping methods, if that's the mapping you're doing.
Okay, cool beans. And does this extension for UKMail also work with M2E Pro as well?
Yeah.
Excellent. So on that note, what we're going to do, we're going to go and grab the extension files. We're then going to put it into our Magento system and set it up live with you. So we're going to catch up with you in a few moments' time. We've been jumped across to Magento, and the first step which you need to make is to make a backup of your Magento system. Now, we did mention that a few moments ago, and what we're going to do, we're just going to put the link on the bottom of the screen for you as well, because it's really important that you do make a backup, because regardless of the extension which you're installing, is that you need that backup in place. 99.9% of the time, nothing will go wrong. But it's that 0.01 chance that something could go wrong. And if you've got a backup in place, then you can save a lot of hours and a lot of frustration. So with that said, the first thing which you want to do, and again, this is just the same for any extension with Magento, is that if you go up to System, Tools, and then Compilation, is that you'll want to make sure that the compiler is turned off. So if you can see that compilation state over here on the left-hand side just says not compiled, or you've got a disable compilation button up here in the top right-hand corner, click on that and then that will disable it. And that's a crucial step. Otherwise, you're going to have some real fun installing not only this extension, but any other extension onto your Magento website. So with you having a backup in place and the compiler turned off, is that once you've been and downloaded the files from the Mad Capsule website, is that you'll get a collection of files just like this. You'll have a folder called app, another folder called lib, another one called skin, the license agreement, and you'll also have the user guide and the installation instructions as well. Now, we're kind of lucky because we do have Mark in the background as well to guide us through this. Now, the first step which we need to do is to actually upload these files to our website. So over here in the background is that we've already opened up FileZilla, and we've been in FTP'd into our Magento folder. So I'm just going to highlight this on your screen for you, so you'll be able to see app, downloader, errors, includes, JS, lib, and so on and so forth. If you can see those folders, then you are in the right place. So to upload these files to our website, it's really straightforward. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put these side by side, and this is what we would suggest that you do as well. Now, what we're also going to just make sure is that over on FileZilla is that just move some of these columns so they're a little bit shorter, and you've got plenty of white space on the right hand side. So what I'm going to do, I'm just clicked on app on the left hand side, and I held down the shift key on the keyboard so that we've got app, lib and skin all highlighted together. And then we're just going to left click on our mouse button, and we're going to drag and drop it over into the white space on the right hand side. Now, huge tip here, don't drag and drop it onto a blue folder like that. You don't want that to happen. You want to drag and drop it into the white space, and once you've been and done that, just let go of your mouse and it's going to transfer those files up. Now, there are quite a few files to be transferred, and it will take a few moments depending upon your connection. Now, we can see that there we go, and in our system now they have been transferred. So just like any extension, once you've been and done that, if we go back to our Magento website, and then if you go to System, and then into cache management. Then on the left-hand side, click select all, so they're all ticked. And then on the right-hand side, click on submit. And again, this is the same for any extension for Magento. And then we want to clear out the 2 caches. So we're going to click on the flush Magento cache button in the top right, and then the flush cache storage as well. And again, you will get a pop-up message with this one, and that's perfectly normal. And just give that a moment to complete. And the last step which you need to make is that you must remember to log out and then log back in again into your system. If you don't do that last step, then you're going to end up with some 404 warning messages when you go into system and config. Now, Mark, can you guide us in from here?
Sure. So once you've followed all those steps, just need to go to your system configuration. So system configuration.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the left-hand side, you'll see on your menu towards under the Sales tab, you'll see UKMail.
Ooh, we got a little logo. How cool. Yep.
So you click that one, and then you've got all the settings to set here. So start with the top one, I guess. Your UKMail account settings.
Okay, so that's where we would put our ICASign username and password in.
Yeah, and your account number.
And our account number. Now, we don't have details to share with you on here, so if you are using UKMail, then that's where you would enter your username, password, and account number. Okay, so what other settings we got here, Mark?
So if you expand the general settings, the first one's quite important, live mode, so yes or no. If you keep it in no, then everything will be test, so the courier won't actually be real. So they're good to use this mode to check it's all working.
Mm-hmm.
The next mode down, this is the processing mode. So this is what we talked about previously, the manual, automatic, or automatic with mapping.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little link there with like a refresh to the modes guide.
Yeah, which is hidden on our screen right now. And again, that's because we got a theme update for the Magento admin theme, but there is a link there. And Mark, we were going to do a separate tutorial on the courier rules as well, weren't we, to do the mapping. So, Mark, we're going to pop a setting in here so we can default them all to one service.
Yeah, so manual override.
Leave that on that manual override.
Oh, sorry. So to default would be, automatic with default is the setting you'd like. Yeah.
Right, okay. And that setting in real life would be if you're only ever using UKMail for just one shipping method with them. It's the method which you use 99% of the time. Is that right?
Yeah. Basically, any shipment that gets created will be automatically sent to UKMail with that shipping method, which you select from the 4 boxes down from it. It's under the default service.
That one.
So it's currently set as next day, but yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, let's leave that one as next day. We've got the parcel weight as well.
Yeah, so these are which weights your Magento store uses. So if your weights are in grams or kilos, select the relevant one.
Okay, so we were using grams. And default weight as well?
Yeah, default parcel weight. If you put a value in here, this is good for people that don't have weights in their store. Some people don't. You put a weight here, and this will make every consignment that weight, no matter how heavy all the products add up to. It won't care. It will just use whatever weight you've put in there.
Oh, right. It just forces it to 500 grams in this case.
Yeah, like override, yeah.
Cool. All right. Okay. Available delivery services. What does this do?
These are all the services you may want to use. So it's a multi-select box. So select all the options you want.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe all of them or just a couple.
So I'm just holding down the shift key and I selected them all. But if you didn't want Saturday, then just hold down the control key and that enables you to turn them on and or off like that.
Yep.
Signature option upon delivery. That sounds expensive. Is that an add-on?
Yeah, it's like a signature option. So it allows people to look at the signatures and stuff online, but most people don't use it.
Okay.
Because obviously all the UKMail ship methods will be signed for, pretty much. It's an enhancement. Nobody really uses it.
No.
Special instructions are quite important. If you use this, the customer can specify from the checkout page, like instructions like leave under the gate, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I saw this with the DPD extension. So when the customer goes through the checkout, on the final section, or one of the last sections where they've got their delivery options, you've got that extra box where they can leave you a note. So, and that will then get passed on to the courier. So that's what that option there means. So that means when a customer's on your Magento website and they're checking out there, not eBay or Amazon, I hasten to add, is that there's an extra box where they can put the special instructions in, and that's in the Magento checkout. Cool. Yep. Collection schedule, what's this?
This allows you to specify like when you want things collected. So when the consignments get passed to UKMail, it sends through the collection date. If no schedule's been defined, it just use every day between 9 and 5.
Right, okay, so I'll just delete that then, because I'm guessing that's going to be the majority of the time. Okay. Yeah. Notification settings, Magento tracking email, so that will send them out an email.
Yeah, this will send them out a tracking email with, there's a template they can edit, the merchants can edit if they need, but this is just a default email saying, your thing's been shipped on this tracking number of UKMail.
Okay.
And the UKMail notification, if you select the box, you can see you've got email and SMS. So that's for UK. If you select one of those options, UKMail will either email them or SMS the customer to tell them about their package.
Cool. Okay. Now the shipping method mapping, we're going to skip that section because is that where we set our rules in there for the different Magento ones?
Basically that big box there, like you said, we'll cover another day, but that just allows people to map Magento shipping methods to UKMail shipping methods.
Okay, so just a quick note in there are 2 links. You've got the mapping guide, and you've also got the link there to the UKMail service codes, and that's if you want the automatic mapping. So if someone chooses, MAT Super Saver Rate, and you can match that to a UKMail method, so you might want to change that to next day or 48-hour delivery, for example. Okay, and you've got some extra settings down there, which I presume they can leave those as no.
They're mainly for developers and stuff, but the log activity means that every time something happens with our extension, it'll be logged. So it's good for debugging.
Okay. So
probably people won't use it though.
Okay, just out of curiosity, I'm thinking for the audience which are listening to this, so that maybe it's an idea to put log activity to yes while they're getting it set up, and they can prove that everything works. And of course, if they run into any problems, because they can contact you for support, that maybe it's an idea that they leave the log activity on for a couple of days while they're getting it set up, and then to come back and then set that back to no. So
yeah, sure. I mean, there's the little question mark next to it. If you hover over it, you'll see, as we recommend, use it while you're debugging, but make sure you turn it off. Otherwise, you're going to end up with massive system logs.
Right, fair enough. So if you do turn that on, once you've worked out that everything's working okay, come back and turn that off. Okay, so in our case, we're going to turn that off. Again, we know that when we actually create a shipment in a few moments' time, it's going to error because we haven't actually put the icon sign details in at the top. So if you've been following us along, put your details in, press save config in the top right hand corner. There we go. So how do we actually ship an order with UKMail then, Mark?
Okay, so we've got it set to automatic with default, which means all we need to do is create a shipment from an order. You create a shipment like normal, and that will automatically send it over to UKMail.
So we've been and jumped across to an order in Magento, and we create a shipment by clicking the ship button in the top right hand corner, Mark.
As normal.
Okay, and then scroll down
and submit,
and then just click submit at the bottom. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Now, we've been and got a red error message at the top. Now, we were expecting that to happen because we haven't put our consignment details or our iConsign details in the user settings for UKMail, so you won't have that. If you do get the same message at the top, then you're missing the settings in system and configuration and then in UKMail. Now, just to follow this through, where can we enter or actually send this order across to UKMail?
So in the moment you've got it in automatic default. So if you want to manually ship your orders to UKMail, you need to change in the configuration to the manual mode. It might be worth just mentioning before we do that. That under the sales order screen, you could select multiple orders and ship them, and then it would effectively batch process them.
Oh, right. Okay, so let's do this for real. So I've jumped back to the sales order screen. I've changed the status to processing. So that's going to be orders which you've been received from your website or any of the marketplaces. And then we can batch process them from this screen, can we?
Yeah, so just tick the ones you'd like. Oh, yeah.
All of them?
All.
Yeah.
And then actions at the top.
And then we just choose from the actions menu, print shipping labels?
Yeah. And then select.
And then submit, and that will go and add them. And Mark, what happens when we hit submit now? What goes on in the background?
So if once you hit submit, the order details are passed as separate consignments to UKMail. Each consignment will receive a tracking number back, which will be updated against the shipment in Magento. At the same time, labels for each of these consignments will be generated and saved into your Magento store, which you can see by going to the sales menu at the top and going.
We got a new section. Cool.
Yeah, so here you've got 3 submenus. You've got completed labels, you've got labels awaiting printing, and failed shipments. So you would see any labels you haven't printed yet will be under the labels awaiting printing. So those ones that we just sent there, you would have a list of all the labels there. You can select them all and then hit print. Failed shipments, you will have a list of failed shipments here with information for why it failed. Common things are you've put a county instead of a country, or you put a county instead of a city, basically address problems, or the address isn't valid, the postcode's not a postcode, and they come back from UKMail.
Right, okay, but we can jump into a failed one, tweak the details, and then resend it as well?
Yeah, so you can, we can't see it here because we don't have one, but on the far right-hand side, you see there's an action heading. Under there, for any consignment you had, would have the ability to resend, and that resends it back to UKMail. So in theory, what you'd do is you'd look at the error, so city invalid, you'd go to the order, change the city, the delivery city, under action, just resend, and then you'd be all good.
Right, okay. So back on the sales order screen, we would have picked up a collection of orders and then gone to print them out, or create the shipment, sorry. The next step for that would be we would then go to sales, UKMail labels, and then labels awaiting printing. Yeah. And then we would print the labels out from there.
Yeah, you'd select either one or a selection of the ones you wanted to print and just hit print. Okay. You can also delete them. I'm not sure why you'd ever want to delete them, but if you wanted to, you can delete them. So.
Okay, ace. And that would just how do these labels come out? Is it just a standard PDF?
Yeah, they come out in the same way all the Magento invoices and shipping notes come out. So they come out in PDFs. So if you select a load, you just get a load of PDFs or a big PDF.
Or a big PDF, which you just print out on the printer.
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
So in this tutorial, we learned that we can actually connect UKMail into our Magento system with the help from the guys at Mad Capsule Media and their dedicated UKMail extension.
And we looked at a brief introduction to the Mad Capsule Media. We had a quick introduction to Mark and Mad Capsule Media. And Mark, thank you for joining on this one. Again, for anybody watching this, it's just they can actually see what's going to be going on. Well, I know we didn't have the live details in there, but at least you'll now have an idea of what would happen on your Magento website. And of course, you would get labels as well, wouldn't they, Mark?
Yeah, also it's probably worth noting that if anybody has UKMail details and they just want to check it out and use it as a demo, they can for our website. And they can put in their details and run some tests. So they don't have to buy it, they don't have to install anything if they just want to test out, see how it works exactly.
Okay, we saw the process of installing the extension, which was just like any other extension for Magento, which was that we, number one, make a backup. And I think that's the 3rd or 4th time I've said that now. So number one, you make a backup. Then we turn the compiler off. We then upload the files. We clear out the caches. Then the crucial one is we've got to remember to log out and log back in again. And then we went off and configured the extension as well. And we saw that there was a couple of different modes available. And those modes were the advanced one, where you can set up automatic rules. Mark, you're going to show us how to do that in a separate tutorial. And then finally, how we can then go and configure that and actually use UKMail in our Magento system as well. Now, Mark, just before you go, one daft question. Is there support available for this extension? What happens if someone's struggling getting it set up?
Yeah, sure. We offer support, of course. We also offer to set up the whole thing for people for a nominal fee. So if somebody just doesn't have the time, we can set it up for them. Equally, if they want to do it and they have problems or questions, they're more than welcome to ask on phone or email.
Brilliant. Thank you ever such. Thank you ever so much there, Mark. So if you are interested in purchasing the UKMail extension for Magento, then you can get this by going to understandinge.com/get UKMail, and that will take you across to Mark's website called madcapsule.com. Now, if you enter the discount code UKMail, so that's all one word, you'll save 10% off any of the advertised price for the UKMail extension. Now, again, just a quick note there, it is UKMail, and it will only work for the UKMail extension on the Mad Capsule website. So if you are interested, use that link. There's a discount code there which will save you 10%. And of course, you've already been and met Mark. You've seen us get the extension installed, really straightforward to do. And of course, Mark and his team are there in the background if you do have any challenges while you're getting the extension installed too. So from myself, Matt.
And me, Dave.
And from me, Mark.
We'll catch you soon. Cheerios.